Tourists from around the globe come to Jordan's unique Dead Sea, but most tourists don't come here to just laze in the sun or swim in its salty waters. What they are after is its thick black mud. This mud comes from the Dead Sea's floor and is laden with magnesium and 35 other rich minerals such as sodium, potassium and calcium. When applied onto the skin, it becomes a natural lotion that helps cure skin ailments such as eczema and other illness such as rheumatism.
All minerals in the Dead Sea, which make up 29% of the water, as well as other substances, can be found in the mud. The mud has excellent therapeutic effect on joints. Its second benefit is cosmetics, as it softens the skin and pulls it.
But according to Mr. Bisharat, patients with respiratory problems can also benefit greatly from breathing by the Dead Sea.
The air from the Dead Sea is different from any other air. Do you know why? Because it's rich in oxygen. It's richer than any other place in the world. The higher you go up a mountain, the less oxygen you get. We are at 415 meters below sea level. Therefore, this air is healthy and beneficial to patients with respiratory problems.
For this retired German patient, the mud therapy has had some good effect.
I come here every year to treat my chronic eczema and the pain in my joints. The results are excellent, so I spend here each year from 3 weeks to 1 month. When I'm here, I don't have to use medication that gives side effects.
Local businesses are also cashing in on the Dead Sea mud. Over 30 companies produce and export Dead Sea products to the international market.
Today, the Dead Sea still mystifies us because it is so low, 1,300 feet below sea level. It's closest to all the deep Earth's minerals, and most visibly the Earth's salt, which cakes at its shore like little snowdrifts.
It's 10 times more salty than the Mediterranean and 3 times more salty than the Great Salt Lake in Utah.
You can't drown in the Dead Sea even if you try. It's so heavy with salt, it's difficult to put your foot to the bottom. Tourists flock here just to float and bathe in its rich mineral mud, a slather that is said to have healing properties.
Now here goes my face. How does that look?
How does that feel?
The waters of the Dead Sea have also been known for their beautifying properties, and that's why so many cosmetic products these days contain Dead Sea muds and minerals. So we're going to go back to Jim Avila of ABC's 2020, joining us from the banks of the Dead Sea with more on its beauty secrets. Jim?
Well, you can see behind me, Charlie, the bathers that come here, and in fact, people come here as a resort destination nowadays. They see the beautiful white sand beach, or at least they think it's sand. When you get down really close and you look up close, it's not sand at all. In fact, it is salt. These are salt crystals that make it look like sand. And right next to us here, this, of course, is the mud that people come to bathe in. In fact, they put it all over their bodies like this, and then they go and bathe inside the water itself. It is a resort destination like no other. They come from all over the world to be slathered in mineral-rich mud from the Dead Sea.
Just to be here, it's great.
Camera came to bathe all the way from the Czech Republic to ease her aching joints.
Well, it feels great. That's the first thing. And it's very good for health. If you cover body with mud, all these minerals go inside, and it's really a perfect treatment.
Camera and her fellow mineral bathers of today follow in the muddy steps of royalty. Legend says it was the Queen of Sheba who first believed in the mystical healing powers of the Dead Sea. Then Cleopatra traveled from Egypt to build the world's first spa here. Today, Hollywood royalty uses products from the salty sea. Julianne Moore and Susan Sarandon both are among the Dead Sea faithful.
The Dead Sea is the biggest, widest natural spa on earth.
And so after they get all this glorious mud on themselves, most of the people put it all over their body, they head right out here into the water. It's actually a pretty good temperature, I'll tell you, and it's also, you can feel it, it feels kind of oily to the touch because there's so much metal in here. As we were told earlier, in fact, this water has 3 times as much salt in it as does the Great Salt Lake, and has about 10 times as much as the Mediterranean Sea. And you float. I mean, I feel like I'm right on top of the water. It's not like a regular ocean. You can sit up like this with no problem whatsoever. It's just an amazing thing that people come from all over the world to see.
Many people take baths to get clean or to ease away the stresses of the day. Others take baths to get cured of disease. In ancient times, those people traveled great distances for a healing bath. Today, that old medicine is available right here in the United States. But does it really work? Tonight, as we continue our series, Ancient Cures, Modern Hope or Hoax, senior medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta looks at the curing power of the Dead Sea baths.
The gentle lapping water of the Dead Sea. Witnessed in millions of years of history, millions of pilgrimages, and healing properties acknowledged since the dawn of time.
Cleopatra of Egypt knew about this form of therapy. It was written in Egyptian scrolls. It was known of in biblical times.
In the Bible, it was said that water flows to the valley of the Dead Sea, healing whatever it touches, including those seeking to cleanse, even lepers. They were drawn to the salts. The Dead Sea heals because of its high volume of minerals and salt. It has the highest saline content of any body of water known to man. Thousands of years later, the same type of water flows in a much different environment.
Do is recreate the Dead Sea therapy to the greatest extent possible.
By using a combination of a bath using salt imported from the Dead Sea and UV light therapy to mimic Dead Sea rays. 38-year-old Richard Strazo floats in a Dead Sea bath several times a month to get relief from psoriasis, a chronic skin disease that causes his skin to scale and become inflamed. A Dead Sea bath seemed like a last resort. By the time he'd been through several treatments, he says his psoriasis was almost completely gone. Dermatologist Jeffrey Altman says Strazo's results are pretty typical.
About a 75% overall improvement. However, the response rates are not quite as durable as what we see in the Dead Sea.
And the results can last several months. Doctors say Dead Sea therapy also works for eczema patients, but there's no cure for either eczema or psoriasis, so the therapy must be ongoing.
It's probably almost the perfect situation created by nature for treating psoriasis and other skin diseases.
Ancient waters that after thousands of years remain a fountain of healing. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Atlanta.
Around the world today, bringing you some of the best health and beauty treatments from every single continent. And right now we're making a pit stop in Asia. Although Israel is considered a part of Europe, it's physically located on the continent of Asia. It's also home to one of the most unique bodies of water in the world, the Dead Sea. Dead Sea.
And I did it. I made a little road trip a couple of years ago with the family, and we went and we did the Dead Sea. There we are.
Look at that. Did it feel good?
That's why your skin looks so good.
I had to try it out. I'm there with my daughter Shannon and my son Matt. Great trip, but it's like nothing you've ever been in. The quality of the salt is so different. You know, table salt is normally 98% sodium chloride. This is only like 10 to 15% sodium chloride. It's all minerals.
Oh, okay.
For that, you can feel what it's doing on your skin. Actually, Jim, I want you to try this.
I'm going to taste it.
Is that from the...
Oh, it's like chemicals.
Tastes chemically?
It's full of calcium chloride, bromide, magnesium.
Is it salty?
I tried too much, I think.
Well, then I also have mud from the Dead Sea. It's got the same, and I wouldn't eat this.
No.
It has the same sort of chemicals that and minerals that are in that are in the salt there, and it's supposed to just have these healing properties. So I'm going to put this on you.
Oh, it is muddy, Jim.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You put this stuff on and it dries
so
like
it's
you
supposed
saw
to cure
in the
skin
picture.
problems.
Wow.
Ooh, it's very smooth, though.
Yeah, it's
skin
soothing.
problems
It's kinda
like
cool.
eczema and arthritis, and also help with anti-aging. Actually, it's very, very nice.
My arm's starting to feel younger already.
Yeah, here, you want some?
Oh.
Here, I'll do it too for solidarity. This is actually really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see
I
why
like
that
this.
woman was
Give
covered
me
head
some
to
of that
toe in
mud.
that.
Is this
Could you
the
please
stuff you
pass
use?
the mud?
Pass
Yes.
the mud. Here you go.
Thank you.
This
Guys.
is really good.
This isn't mud. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's kind of soothing.
It's very
I can see
nice.
how that was a great
Yeah.
experience for you.
That
It's
was
better
very
than
cool.
eating that
Took me a
salt.
while to get the mud off, but
Well, you know, the Dead Sea isn't the only place you can get salt therapy, because the benefits of the Dead Sea, they become so popular, people are actually finding new ways to bring it here to the U.S.
Now, we're always being told to cut back on salt in our diet, but it may be time to toss that idea out and add a dash of salt to your health.
The Salt Chalet in Encino is the first of its kind on the West Coast. The rooms are covered floor to ceiling with salt from the Dead Sea. It's called salt therapy or halotherapy.
The salt that they breathe in is extremely rich in minerals and vitamins.
Believers say the mineral reduces inflammation, absorbs bacteria, clears away mucus, and de-stresses the body. They claim it helps many ailments, from respiratory illnesses to skin problems.
Something holistic, something safe, natural, and an alternative to Western medicine.
it makes sense that salt solution, salt in the air, is physiologic, so it could be a great way to clean yourself out and.
But it's not only the salt that's in the air, it's probably a lot of things that aren't in the air. The pollutants we're faced with every single day, etc.
Instead of like a saline soak, it's a saline breathe.
Well, this intrigues me because I'm someone who, every time I get off the plane in certain cities, I start coughing, having, asthma reacts. Well, we've got Rachel here in our audience, and she started visiting the Salt Chalet to help with her allergies, and we're curious, has it helped?
Yes, actually it has. I've been going for about a month, once a week, and I've had such bad allergies in the past that I used to wake up every night coughing and sneezing and with a stuffy nose. And in the last few weeks, I sleep better, and I don't wake up as much at night.
Are you aware that the air is different? I mean, what you're breathing, is it sort of like...
It feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit salty, but it's comfortable, and it's very relaxing in there. And
it looked relaxing.
Yeah.
And we're glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.